Hey, hey, hey. I am so pumped about this webinar today. Welcome to Scaling to the Top of Your Industry. My name is Marc Jospitre. And the reason that you decided to be here is because that you had a business in the past probably couple years, and you've been doing really well. You've been supporting your family, your income has been increasing, you completely changed your life and the life of your clients, and you've made a name for yourself. You went to the top, and you went at the top of where you could go by yourself. But then something happened. You hit a wall, and now you don't have the time for yourself. You don't have the time for your family. You don't have the time for even grow your business or even go on your social media accounts, because you are putting all of your efforts right now into creating and just trying to fix all the challenges that you have. People are asking to do more business with you, and you can barely take new clients in. Do you feel familiar with this picture? I know exactly how you feel because it happened to me, where that I was just going absolutely bonkers. I wanted to reach a certain level in my company, and I spend all of my time prospecting and going on sales calls and providing service to my clients. Even some of my clients were complaining that I was not available anymore. And I know this is not where you want to be. You don't want to feel this way. You're feeling that you're not doing exactly what you want to do. So that is the reason why you are on this webinar. And I've been extremely fortunate to work into the coaching industry. But what I want to tell you, this is not for coaches out there. If you're an entrepreneur, this is for you. And I want you to follow me into the next hour or so, where that you will find what you need to know in order to get to that next level, to get to that 7-figure that you always wanted to go. Now, Stanford University and UC Berkeley have said that 90% of you will fail when you try to scale to the top, when you'll try to scale your business. And I don't know about you, but those statistics scares the majority of people. And that's the reason why they stay where they are, because they want to move to the next level, but they are scared to even think about changing anything, because in the growth process, a lot of people cannot handle everything which is there. So that is what we're going to talk about today. Now, you have to realize a fundamental truth, that what got you where you are right now won't get you where you want to go. So if you want to go to a 6-7-figure business, which you might be already at 6-figure business, but if you want to multiply your business, multiply it by 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to have to make some changes in your life. And those changes, that is exactly what we're going to talk about today. So I don't know if you picked that up yet, but my name is Marc Jospitre. I am a consultant with a great company, and I was really fortunate to start doing what I love. And what I love is to coach. I love to coach. I love to be with people. I love to help people to move forward. And when I started my business, I was doing everything. Like from the marketing, from the prospection, from doing conferences. And if I go back in time, I remember where I was doing conferences every single week. I was doing free talk every single week. I was offering this for free. People could come, and guess what? Sometimes there was nobody in the room. I was by myself. And I was just staying there for an hour because I took a commitment that I'm going to be there. So I was doing those presentations, and I was practicing my craft. But nobody was showing up. I was doing the marketing. I was doing everything. I was doing free talks in schools with people which had absolutely no clue how their mind works. I was providing services. I was involved with all kind of different association, which again, I was doing this for free. So I had pictures, everybody knew me, but I was not getting the income. And when I did start to get income, and when I did start to get paid engagement, that was not necessarily what I wanted to do. I was doing things that somehow I needed to bring bread into my table. Now, I was very fortunate because I met some great people like the ex-president of Mexico, but that is what you're forced to do because you're not doing exactly what you should be doing. And as you're moving forward, now you're getting experience, you're moving forward, you're starting to get clients, and now you reach a point where that everything start to expand. And now you start having a lot of results. And now the other problem that starts is now you don't have any time. And what happened for me is I started building a team. And this is what I want to share with you today. Because from the moment that I had my sales team with me, it gives me a lot of time to focus on exactly what I love to do, and it's to coach. So I was able as well to go to conferences, serve with the company that I'm working with Procter Gallagher. I was able as well to get the reward that comes with the results that I got without being burned out. Because a lot of you out there are doing all of that work by yourself and you're totally burned out. And for me, the most important part is this, is my family. Is to be able to go in the weekend and do something as a family. It's to be able to put my time into what I do best, and it's to coach, it's to bring some projects, it's to create. That's what I love the most. So this is what we're going to talk about today. I really want you to take some note. I'm going to give you tons of value. I'm going to give you as well everything that we've learned through this process. Now, if you have a question, and if you are part of my team and you are on this, I want you to write into the comment box, hey, Marc, because I know some of my team right now are on this webinar because they love what we've been doing, and all this, it's our creation. We've been creating this together because we've been creating that scale, that we scale the business together. So my promise to you today is you're gonna know how to leverage your time. Because if you don't leverage your time, you're never gonna be able to multiply your income. As well, you're gonna know what the mindset of an entrepreneur is. A lot of people are going into businesses, they're coming from being an employee, and they say, okay, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur now. And they come with their mindset of employees. So they try to micromanage everything, to do everything, because they always have been told, oh, you need to do it by yourself. But you have to change that. Because when you're an entrepreneur, you've got to know that you cannot do it by yourself, okay? And what most of you want to know is what are the steps to scale to the next level. So are you ready to do this? If you're ready, just put into the comment box, I'm ready. Alrighty, perfect. Wonderful. So the first step, how to leverage your time. Now there's 3 very important components into this. Very, very important component. And those components are this. You need to, first of all, understand that the hours that ordinary people waste, extraordinary people leverage. That's coming from someone that I've been reading before that I started having that great success into my business, Raman Sharma. And if you think about it, how many hours are you wasting in a day that you could have and you could implement and you could use to leverage and to make your time better? Actually, you will see that you've got to leverage yourself through others. And that is the 3 income earning strategies that you have to understand. First of all, there's M1, M2, and M3. That's very simple. And I'm going to go through this so you can understand like where we want to go and how you want to multiply your time, okay? And leverage your time. So the first one, most of the people, we're learning that we should trade our time for money. As a solopreneur, so when you start into the entrepreneur field, most of you are trading your time for money. So you're doing everything by yourself. You are finding a prospect, you are selling, you are doing and providing the service. So you're trading your time for money. The problem with this, and if you are doing this right now, is you probably hit a wall at some point and you have a ceiling. So this is why as well that you feel totally burned out. I remember when I started as an entrepreneur, I was working, I don't know, like now I didn't even count how much hours I was working in my business, but that was all the time. And I remember once my daughter coming to me and just started like asking me about something, and I was like, I'm working. And that was always my answer, I'm working. Is that the way you want to spend your time with your family? Because that is when you start realizing this, why are you doing this? Are you doing this because you want to spend more time with your family or you want to spend more time with your business? Now, the second income earning strategy, M2, it's used by about 3% of the population. It's when you trade money for money. So the money that you've been using right now, that you've been earning through your business, you reinvest into your business, which most of the people are doing this. And especially when you're trying to scale, when you try to bring your business to another level, you're going to invest into software, you're going to invest into maybe vehicle, you're going to invest into all kinds of different things. You reinvest into your business. But because you don't necessarily know what you're doing, and you don't necessarily bring more revenues into your business, normally most of the people which are doing this, they're failing within the first year. Now, M3 is the one that you should focus on, which there's only about 1% of the population which is utilizing that strategy, but they're earning 96% approximately of all the money which is earned. And this is when that you multiply your time through the time of others by setting up multiple sources of income. So MSI, it's not network marketing, okay? So I just want you to really understand that I'm not talking about network marketing here. I'm talking about multiplying your time through the times of others. So you are multiplying your efficiency because you're utilizing other people's energy and time to help you grow your business. And that is where that you need to be part of. And from the moment that you implement that strategy that we are sharing with you here today, you're going to move automatically into the M3 category. And you're going to move automatically into that select group of people which are earning good money without having to work as hard as they used to be. Because the reason why you want to do that, the reason why you want to multiply your time is that you have more time for yourself, for your family, to do what you do best and to do what you love the most. If you believe that you deserve that, just say yes into the comment box right now. Now, as well, another part about multiplying your efficiency would be to have a very clear schedule. Now, this is my schedule. As you see there, you might think, oh my God, Marc, like this is crazy. I mean, I don't want to have a schedule like this. But that is the only way that you're going to be able to manage your activities. Most people think that they should manage their time. Time cannot be managed, guys. Time cannot be managed. You have 60 minutes in an hour. You've got 24 hours in a day. And by the way, you should sleep at some point, right? Which it's, according to studies, you should sleep at least 6 hours a night. That's the bare minimum in order to create the proper condition and the proper rest that your body needs to regenerate itself. So as you see, I'm waking up at 5 in the morning. And then from that, my day starts. So I have everything planned almost, but I have my food, which is planned in there. I have the time that I spend on social media in there. My teaching is in there, like what I'm eating, the mastermind and the mirror work, like which basically it's another thing that we are doing, which we can help you with. But when I go to the gym, my Spanish classes, and you see there's a little hole there. This is in case that I have something that comes up, I can add it on into this. But as you see, I'm not taking calls all day long. I have 2 slots during the day that I take call. So I can take 4 calls in a day because I'm not spending more than a half an hour call. So having that schedule and having that management of your activities, this is how that you're going to be able to create the proper condition so you're feeling rested, calm, and serene. Because most of you are going crazy and bonkers because you don't know what you should be doing. And when you don't know what you should be doing, what's happening is you're creating that stress and anxiety, which I'm going to show you later. And I don't know if you saw, but as well, I have my family time, which is there, which by the way, that calendar goes all the way to 8 o'clock at night. Okay. So on Saturday afternoon and Sunday, this is family time. Now, am I eating during that time? Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go for food as well. But like we're having family dinner, we're having family time. And like this, my daughter knows as well when that's the time for her to come to me, and then we can do something together. That is extremely important. If you're taking the time to create that, and if you do this, you're going to improve your result by 50%. Okay? And that's a promise. So make sure that you're taking the time to have a very clear schedule, a very clear activity management schedule. So then you can get the results that you want. Now, if you do have questions, I invite you to write it up in the comment box so we can help you to answer those questions. Because I know, like, the first time I saw this calendar, and the person that put this together, I was just like, wow. But that is something that we're going to help you through this program as well. Okay. Now, the second part is the mindset of an entrepreneur. Most people moved from being an employee into being an entrepreneur, but they never changed their mindset. And that is a common mistake. And if you're doing this, I promise that you will fail. Because being an entrepreneur is totally different than being an employee. And it starts by having unwavering courage. What does that mean? That means that sometimes you're going to have to take very tough decisions. Sometimes you're going to have to do things that you don't want to do, and you're going to have to go and dig deep, yes, in order to find that courage out to do what needs to be done. That is being an entrepreneur. You're going to have self-control. If you're just panicking at everything, if you are getting frustrated, if you are screaming at your employees or your clients, people won't do business with you very long. You have to learn to control yourself. As an employee, if you ever flip out once in a while, probably the boss will bring you into his office and is going to have a talk with you. And then it's going to be good. Maybe. But as an employer, if you're doing this, people will see you as someone which is unstable. So you have to have very clear control of yourself. Understanding that people are looking up to you. A keen sense of justice. You need to be just. You need to be just with everybody. So if you are a hardcore entrepreneur, and then there's always like some employee that you feel that you're connecting better with. You cannot treat people differently. People are very, they are observing you, and they're going to see, like, there's something. Why is he treating that person better than he treats me? So you've got to treat everybody the same way. So you could be hard, then you're going to be hard with everybody. Or you can be like kind. So you're going to be kind with everybody. But be just. Always be just with everybody so people will respect you. Definiteness of decision. People want an entrepreneur which can make decision, and they know that they can follow that person. Because it's not just, oh, I don't know what we're going to do. Nobody wants to follow someone like that. So when you're an entrepreneur, you need to make decision, and you need to learn to make decision quickly and not change your mind all the time. There's so many entrepreneurs that I see that decide to go this way and then change their mind. It's like, oh no, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do this instead. Well, people are not willing to follow someone like this. And as a matter of fact, successful people are taking decisions fast and they don't change their mind. People which are not successful are taking a long time to make decision and normally change their mind all the time. So the mindset of a great entrepreneur is to be definite in when you're making decision. Definiteness of plan. You need to have a plan. Now, you need to understand this. Your plan is going to be flawed because we had a flawed world, a world that is changing all the time. But if you have a definite plan and you see your plan doesn't work, then you're going to adjust your plan into the new conditions. You're not changing the goal. The goal doesn't change, but the plan will change because your plan, as what you're seeing with the condition that you're having right now, will be flawed. But it gives a sense of direction to everybody. The habit of doing more than what you paid for. Well, most entrepreneurs are making the mistake of always reinvesting into their company without paying themselves. But what you have to do is you have to pay yourself, but you have to be willing to do whatever it takes to get to where you want to go in a lawful manner. okay? Just want to be clear on this. Make sure that you're doing more and you're providing more service than what your client is giving you. Your client is giving you X amount of dollars. Make sure that you always exceed the expectation. So you're doing more than what you're paid for. What it's going to do, it's going to bring more clients toward you, because people's going to feel that you're providing, you're over delivering. That is the mindset that you need to have as an entrepreneur. Sympathy and understanding. That is especially with your employees, with the people that are working with your team. You need to be sympathetic and you need to understand. So people will always feel that they can talk to you. They'll always feel that they can come to you and ask for advice. That is what being sympathetic and understanding. Well, that goes along. Nobody wants to follow someone which has a miserable personality. So as an entrepreneur, people need to feel that you're someone which is pleasant to be around, that wants to conduct business with, wants to be with that person, wants to go on a phone call with you. And in order to do this, you need to have that pleasing, that pleasant personality, more than pleasing. Like, you need to have a pleasant personality. So it's fun to be around you. This one is probably one of the most important one as an entrepreneur. You've got to assume full responsibility. If your team is not performing, the responsibility is coming from the owner. It's coming from you. It's coming from the person which is at the head of the group. Because if you don't take full responsibility, well, your team won't take full responsibility either. So the very first, I believe this should be the very first one, is assume the results that you're getting comes on your shoulder. And if something happened which is not right, you should take responsibility for that too. Mastery of detail. Now, this is a good one, because when you're mastering details, what you're going to realize is you don't have to master those details by yourself. And you're going to see this in a moment, where I'm going to share with you that those details can be mastered by your team. And that's the reason why you want to have a team. That's the reason why you can only grow by having people working with you. And ultimately, to be a great entrepreneur, you have to cooperate. You have to learn to work with other people. You can be a solopreneur, but you're gonna hit a ceiling. You're gonna hit a wall. You're gonna come to a point where you won't be able to advance to the next level. And that, it's through cooperation, understanding that as a group, you become more powerful. Now, I've seen a couple of questions. It's like kind of a square. What happened to unexpected events? I like it, but don't know if it's possible to attach to the kind of schedule. Well, you've got to learn to respect your time. I believe that that's coming from the slides, which was previously. But if you don't respect your time, that means that you're not respecting yourself. There's going to be like some unexpected thing, but there's always a time where that you can move things forward. Or say, you know what, I'm going to attend you tomorrow. My schedule is complete for today. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And if that is an emergency, then you can take care of that at that moment. So I believe that the respect of your time, if you do respect your time yourself, your clients will respect you better as well. Because that means that you're busy. That means that you're doing well. Okay? So true. Many entrepreneurs are stuck in the old mindset. They're controlled by their circumstances. When they face a problem or failure, they mentally collapse. Absolutely. This is one of the biggest problem for entrepreneur is they've been working, they've been like grinding, which it's a big term right now. You know, you need to grind, and because there's influencers out there that are claiming that that's the way to succeed. I believe that the grind comes from the old mindset. If you do change your mindset and you're becoming calmer as you're moving forward, you will be able to handle everything that can be handled and delegate what can be delegated. But you need to change the way that you're thinking in order to delegate. Because if you have been programmed, or if you have always have been into the thinking that you have to handle everything by yourself, well, when that's the time to delegate, you're not going to feel very comfortable about that. Okay, so this goes into the mastery of details, and those details you cannot micromanage. I don't believe in micromanaging. You've got to truly have other people helping you to bring that company to another level. Now, I see something here, time management equals self-management. Remember, time cannot be managed. Only activities can be managed. So self-management, I like that because that's the control of self. That's where self-control comes. Control yourself, you're going to be as well to be able to control your activities, which it's going to feel that you're going to have more time. Okay, but time is relative. We all have the same amount of time. If you go too fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I love that, and you're going to love as well the next slides, which basically is 2 steps. I'm going to share the steps to scale to the top, but that is a very important slide, probably the most important into the entire presentation. You've got to do it by yourself, and you can't do it alone. You won't be able to do this by yourself, but you have to do it yourself. And that is what it's called a koan. A koan is a term used for a puzzle that a Buddhist priest would give to a student. When the student solved the puzzle, they would have raised their level of consciousness. So I just give you right now a puzzle. You've got to do it by yourself, and you can't do it alone. So in order for you to scale to the next level, you're going to have to understand that there's some steps that you need to follow. And that very first step is this one. You're going to have a sales director that handle your team for you. Now, does that mean that you're never going to talk to the team? No, absolutely not. You should always be present. But your sales director is the extension of you. It's the one that will enforce the rules. It's the person that's going to help you to create a system. It's the person that will as well keep everybody accountable. Now, in my case, it took me about 6 months to find the right person. And I believe that if it takes you 2 years, which that would be long, probably you would have the wrong approach if it takes that long. But you should take as long as it takes to find that right person. Because that person, if it's not the right person, what's going to do, you're going to have a gap between your vision and the results that you're going to get. Okay? I went through 5 people in order to find the person which was absolutely perfect for that role. Which I believe that person, you should create a very clear image of what you want as a sales director. What are the qualities that you want into this person? What type of personality that you want in this person? What type of role will he implement? What type of all of the things that you're thinking. Now, if I go back to what I did and how I was thinking about that person, the very first thing I was looking for was loyalty. Because everything else can be taught. Loyalty cannot. So I believe loyalty is a characteristic which is extremely important into that role. Is someone which cares, is someone which wants to build something with you, is someone which wants to grow with you. So that person, you have to have a very clear image. So as I was looking for this candidate, what happened is there was a bunch of other people that I care about, which was around, but you could see the very first thing that was necessary was loyalty. They did not have it. They were looking more for an opportunity for themselves than helping to build what I was envisioning. And when that person, which is my sales director now, appeared, which by the way was always there, I was just not looking, I was just not seeing it. When I offered that opportunity to that person, everything changed. From that moment, that person was extremely grateful for the opportunity and wanted to build it, was taking initiative and says, okay, what can we do? Maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that. So was really involved into building that vision that I had. And I was very tough because in the beginning, I was not giving all the pieces. I was giving it like just by the drop. Okay, let's do this. Oh, this is what I would like. I was giving drops. I had the full picture already in my mind, but I did not want to give all at once. I wanted to see what was the reaction because I tried 4 before and it didn't work. So now I wanted to see what was in that person. But it's that person's like was able to overcome all the challenges that I put in between and turn out to be the absolute best ally that I could have found. And I'm truly, truly grateful every single day that that person is part of my team now. Now, the second part is the selection process. So you should have selection process. So what type of team that you want to build, and having a questionnaire on how to, like what type of people that you want in your team. So when you are doing an interview with a prospect, actually with a salesperson, right? Someone that you want part of your team, make sure that there's very clear defined questions before you're hiring someone. So you want to have some specific answers. So you start with the answers that you're looking for, and then you build the question around it. And if you're not getting the answers you want, then that person is discarded. It's very harsh, But remember that you're building a team to go to the top of your industry. So you cannot allow rotten tomatoes to be part of your team. Okay? Because what it's going to do, it's going to rotten everything else. Like if you put a bunch of good apple together, well, most of them are going to stay good. But if you put a rotten one in there, all of a sudden it starts rotting everything else. Okay, so you want to make sure that your selection process is extremely rigid and very streamlined. So you're getting only good candidate into your team, and you're not rotten. You're not bringing someone that's just gonna break the flow of what you're trying to build. The third part is the training. This part, my friend, is extremely important. I remember when I was I've been into this sales team since 2002, right? So it's been like 17 years that I've been in sales organization and sales team. And in some of them, we're training and training again and training on the same thing over and over again. And I was wondering, why are we doing this? We did that yesterday. Today, I understand, having my own team and having my own organization, I understand exactly why we were doing this. Because that is the only way to form habits. That is the reason why we're training every single day. So my suggestion there is you should pick one day a week or multiple days a week, which is always the same day, and everybody must attend. Now I'm saying like they should. I didn't say should attend. They must attend. It has to be part of your culture, which I'll talk about it a little later. Okay? The training must be part of the culture of your company. That is the only way that you're going to get better. The activities of each and every one of your salespeople need to be defined. If you leave a person to his own to do what needs to be done, he will probably wander like a lost soul. So they need to have very defined and clear activities, which are set by your sales director in order to get to where you want to go. In our case, we recommend we suggest that every person reach out to 5 new prospects every day, that have 3 presentations every day, and is looking to get 1 sales every day. And we call it the 5-3-1. Now, think about it. If you're reaching out to 5 new prospects every single day, how many prospects will you have at the end of the year? If you're good in math, that's going to be over 1,500. 1,500 new prospects every single year. How many sales are you going to do through that? And that is the activities that needs to be clear for each and every one of your salespeople. Logistics and stats. This is a very important part of your sales organization and your team. In order for you to move to the next level, the sales and the logistics and the statistics of each and every single one of you, of your team member, needs to be clear and defined as well. You need to have a CRM, customer relationship management. So if you are not familiar with that, we can help you to figure that out. But as well, how are you distributing your leads? Because one of the reasons why you want to get there, because you have too many leads to handle. So how do you distribute those leads? Are you passing it on always to the same salesperson? Or are you passing this to everybody equally? But what if a person doesn't, like, you don't have enough leads, and like for every one of your team member. So are you like, is there a person that's going to stay on the sideline for 3, 4, 5 days? What's going to happen with his moral? So all of that, those statistics and logistics, that is a key element to make sure that everybody understands what is your process and make sure that everybody will be happy into your organization. And that is happening with the logistics and statistics. So that is a very important step as well toward scaling your team and scaling your business to the top of your industry. The culture. What type of culture do you have in your business? And the culture comes from you. It comes from the top. It comes from the owner of the organization. And it always boils down. It doesn't raise from the bottom. Leadership and culture, to me, are hand in hand. So what type of culture do you want to have in your organization to make sure that your business is growing, and it's growing based on your vision? So that culture needs to be passed through your organization, and you're doing this as well through your training. So as you train people to do sales simulation, to do sales training, to the process, you're gonna train as well in the culture of your organization. So making sure that your culture is very well defined, that people know what it is that you want to do. Last but not least, branding and social media. We're living into a social world now. We're living into a social media world, and what's happening is the image that you're projecting, which my team like to call it PMP, personal marketing personal marketing platform. So they are online, they are doing videos, they are presenting themselves in a certain way, which needs to represent as well your culture and your branding. But the colors that you are utilizing, the setup, the picture you are utilizing, all this needs to be uniform. It needs to create a feeling, a great feeling, that when a person is coming into your social media platforms, they're looking at it, it says, this person is a professional. This person knows what is talking about. So if you look at the branding, it is an art, and there are some specialists out there which is focusing on that. And as well as your social media, what are you posting? Is it like going back and forth? Is it out of whack? Are you putting some pictures sometime which like do not relate at all to what you're currently doing? And it creates this disconnection from the prospect. So all of this is extremely important. And if you're not putting this all together, you're going to lose prospects and clients along the way. So in order for you to go to the top of your industry, that is things that you're going to have to do every single day in order to create that congruence for your prospect and for your clients. Now, you remember the fundamental truth that I talked about in the beginning? What got you here won't get you where you want to go. The way I was operating a couple years ago is totally obsolete based on the way I'm operating now. I have a totally different business model. Why? Because I scaled my business to another level. So for you to continue operating the same way that you've been doing in the past couple years, what you're doing is you're stagnant. And right now, you're probably just ignorant about it, right? So you're feeling it's like I don't know, Marc, like, I don't know, I'm not sure about that. And the fact that you are ignorant, which is not a bad thing, you just don't know. You just don't know how to scale your business to the next level. So what does it do? It creates worry and doubt, right? You have worry and doubt consciously. It's just like, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure if I'm ready. I'm not sure if this is what I should do. Maybe I should wait a little bit. And while that you're worried and you're doubting, fear start to, like, you start to having that feeling of fear. And fear is extremely destructive. As a matter of fact, if you continue to get yourself emotionally involved with fear, what's going to happen is you're going to start feeling anxiety in the body. That is just not vibrating in harmony with the vision that you have. And as you have this feeling of anxiety and this feeling of fear, what you're going to do is you're going to try to pretend that all is good. So you're going to suppress that. Now, suppression for a lot of entrepreneurs, and actually, like, there's a lot of entrepreneurs which are in depression, especially when that's the time to move to the next level. They're feeling the pressure. They're feeling that feeling of stress, which they're suppressing, which turn into depression, and it turns into dis-ease. How many times have you seen entrepreneurs which are always sick? They always have a cold. They're always like, having headache. They cannot sleep. I mean, that is a dis-ease. And actually, you should say dis-ease. So your body is not at ease. You're in discomfort. Your body is not comfortable because you're not comfortable consciously and subconsciously. And you're not vibrating at the right level, which you are in a state of disintegration. I heard like a quote, which I cannot tell you right now from whom it's coming from, but it says, success is being able to sleep well. Now think about it. If you are successful and you can sleep like a baby, how good it is. How good is it to be able to sleep like a baby every single day? I absolutely love to sleep well. And the reason for this is because I'm creating. Because you can be, if you're moving forward with your business, you're creating. If you're staying still, if you're staying exactly where you are, or you feel your business is not moving forward, then you are in a disintegrating mode. Let's think a company like Toys R Us. Toys R Us was one of the biggest, actually was the biggest toy manufacturer in the world. It's out of business now, doesn't exist anymore. They filed bankruptcy. Why? Because they stopped creating. When the online world came, what they did is they gave their online platform to Amazon. And Amazon swallowed them. People were buying more in Amazon from Toys R Us than they were buying in the store. Yeah, now Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore. So how are you going to make sure that you continue to scale and to move forward? Is by acquiring knowledge. You're going to choose to get the proper help and the proper study in order to create that faith in your business. And that faith is going to make you move into the state of well-being. You're going to be able to sleep well. Because I'm telling you, I love my sleep. I don't like to feel that I'm not sleeping well. I love to have a good night of sleep. Which, when you feel well, you're going to express yourself. You're going to express yourself to your clients. You're going to express yourself to your phone call, to the presentation that you're doing. And when you are doing this, what it does, it creates acceleration into your business. Your business expands so rapidly, but you're still at ease and you're still calm. So even though that your business is moving really, really fast, you're still staying very, very calm, in charge. Why? Because you have help. And that is where you are at a state of creation. Your team will help you to do that. It will help you to create the proper condition to continue moving forward. Now, remember one thing. You never will change. You don't change anything by fighting existing reality. So your existing reality is you're burned out. You're tired. You cannot grow your business all by yourself anymore. So to change something, you need to build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. I said it earlier. The old model, the way I was working prior, is obsolete for me. The only way for me to grow now is to continue to expand and bring and find new ways with my team to generate new business. So the old way of doing everything by myself in the past, I would never go back there because I know how I felt. So my question to you is, how do you feel now? Is this impossible? Are you feeling that this is impossible to move forward? Because right now, you're having the same results. You are living into this conformity. You cannot move to the next step, the next level. You got some inspiration today. You got some insight. But as the time comes, you're going to have to take a decision. And that decision, right now, you might feel like a little bit of fear. No, the fear of conformity. Because you don't know, like what I was just showing you, like you are into this, ignorance. You don't know, is this going to really work, Marc? Well, I can guarantee it works because while I'm in this presentation right now, one of my team members just sold something. So while I'm talking to you, I'm still earning money. That is what an MSI is you can do what you love and still business is coming forward. And that's what I love about it, because doing webinars, doing presentation, being on stage, coaching, that is my passion. And maybe you can feel it while I'm talking to you, right? That is what I love to do. Now, when that decision is going to come, maybe you're going to have a wall falling down right there. That ignorance, simply not knowing. But if you do make a committed decision, that wall is going to disappear. And what's going to happen is you're going to have new tools, you're going to create discipline, and then you're going to see the new results. And you're going to see that growth. And you're going to be able to focus at what you do best and what you love the most. You're going to delegate everything else that you don't necessarily like to do to a member of your team. So my question to you is, are you going to stay into the impossible and stay in the red and just being inspired for an hour? Or are you going to say, no, I'm going to move to the green. I want this, Marc. I want to move forward. I want to bring my business to the next level. So this is the offer that we have for you today. I'm so pumped. And by the way, guys, like, this is not a theory that I just gathered into a book and then I'm passing to you. This is something I've done. I experienced. And I have people in my team which are on this webinar right now, and they can tell you, they can write to you right now, like what happened to me and to them, because we're all this together. So this is what the program that we are offering is. So that's going to be 8 weeks of weekly teaching on all of what I shared with you right now. You're going to get like the hands down, how it works, how to apply this. And all the mistake that we've made, you're going to be able to bypass that. That is exactly the reason why you want to have someone that have done it before you, so you don't do those mistakes again. You're going to be part of that close inner circle Facebook group, which like those people you're going to be able to share with other people which are in the same situation than you, and have my team helping you, which you're going to see this is part of the bonus. You're going to have a social media and branding teaching in there as well. So looking at what is the colors that you want to have into your social media, what type of post that you need to put in order to attract more of your prospect, and being very aligned with the message that you want to share. That's the bonus that we're offering, because you are taking action in the next 72 hours. We're going to give you a 30-minute free clarity call with an elite team member of mine. Now, that alone, guys, is huge, because those people are not like people that we are just sending you. They are people which are into this team. They're living it every single day. They know what being in a team means, and with a culture that matters. You're going to get weekly team support from my team, which they're going to be as well into that closed Facebook group. Every week for the next 8 weeks, we're going to have a 30-minute Q&A where I'm going to answer questions. We're going to help you to build that team, to help you to make sure that everybody is following what needs to be done in order to get the results that you're looking for. And that one is huge. We're going to give you a one-time attendance to one of our team meetings, so you can see the dynamic, so you can take this and implement this into your own team. So what I want you to do, if you want to move to the next level, get in touch with us, which we're going to put into the link right now, into the chat. We're going to put this in the chat, and on the top as well of this this thread, we're going to put the link in order to get a clarity call with one member of my team, and then you can see if this is for you. It might not be for you. Like maybe like you're not ready to scale. Remember what I said, if you don't have the proper tools into this to be able to scale, you're going to fail. 90% fails. So maybe it's not for you, but maybe it is. So I really suggest you to take that 30-minute call and go into the website and take that 30-minute clarity call with us. So now I'm looking a little bit into the chat, see like where we are at. I'm a little far. Senior searches with an exact culture fit take at least 6 months. There are simply fewer people on the top. Absolutely. Senior searches. Well, that's why it's important to have the proper culture into what you want to do. Like I'm looking at this registration link, it's there. So if you are in right into just go to the website, subscribe there. I want to thank you so much for the time that you spend there. I'm looking forward to start working with you, and we're going to give you as well the date, the exact date when we're going to start our first session, which should be like in about like I think 10 days or so. This is where we're starting with our first lesson. So I'm looking forward to start working with you. Thank you so much for attending this, and I'm looking forward to see your business get to the top of your industry. Thank you. Bye-bye.